Good morning everyone, and welcome to the final Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate livestream that I'm doing on the Wii U console. I'm still not too sure if I want to do an entirely separate recording in terms of the video title to my regular series, which is Doom Link's Live Hunts. It may fall within that series or it may not, just sort of depends on what I feel like doing after the fact. But for the moment we are just live in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I don't want this to be the last time that I say those words, but it will be the last time for a little while. Obviously, I will technically be able to play online after this. I will be moving everything. Well, I've already got the game up and running emulated, but I will be moving this exact save file over after this recording onto the PC version. And at that point, who knows, maybe I will be able to record, maybe I won't. What I can say with some certainty is that I will not be able to record quite as frequently as I have been doing on the Wii U, because there are not going to be as many people to play with, I don't think, emulated. Obviously that has become a little bit more complicated since the legal action that has been taken against Yuzu, which then had the additional downside of Citra no longer being available. I do have Citra, but again, connecting online is not as simple as it once was. So that is probably going to affect the number of people who are playing this game, or the number of people who will be playing once there is literally no option to play online on the Wii U. I believe at this stage we are in the final 24 hours of this game being online. There are 96 people playing. Wow. I have not seen this many people playing this game in at least 5 years, which is, you know, it's poignant, but I understand. I understand why people are digging out their Wii U to experience this game for the last time. And I do mean that, you know, some people just didn't really play many games on their Wii U, and as a consequence, they just put this Wii U that they can use to play this game away, and then never played this game. I can assure you that the number of people who used to play this game was, it would actually necessitate 6 to 8 lobbies in order to fit everyone in there, you know, keeping in mind there's about 100 people per lobby, so where did all of those people go? I'm assuming that their Wii U's didn't break down, for the most part, and I'm sure they didn't explode in a, you know, ball of fire. I'm assuming that those people just stopped playing on the Wii U. I think a small percentage of those people who used to play will be digging out their Wii U's and playing again in the last 24 hours. I'm not going to be here during the actual shutdown. It's not going to be happening. I'll be off doing other things, I imagine. But yeah, this is going to be the last recording that I will be doing in this game. It is sad. I'm happy to explain in detail why I'm not as sad as I might otherwise have been, because this is the last video. So there have been various explanations that have I suppose, been divided up through multiple recordings that I've done of this game recently, but I'm happy to just have this be the one place where I explain my position on the closure of these servers. Just one big comprehensive explanation. 3U send-off, which is very nice of this guy, considering that he has decided not to actually allow any of us to play with him. It's just him and his friends. 3U send-off. Oh, but fuck you guys from the community. It's just us. Rusty hunt. Okay. Are you saying that you want to hunt Rust Duramboros, or are you saying that you are rusty at the game? It's hard to tell at this stage. Thank you, Capcom. That, I don't know if that's sarcasm or not. But anyway. It should actually be honest, because, rather than sarcastic, and I will tell you why. Of all the online Monster Hunter games up until this point, this game, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, has received the best support out of all of the games. I suppose it would be more accurate to say the longest support, but I think that also translates to the quality of the support, because it's still going. Obviously, not for much longer, but the point is that, you know, I started playing this game almost 11 years ago, and here I am still playing it with people on the console that I bought it on, which is pretty impressive, to be honest. Obviously, there are exceptions to that. I can play some games online on, say, the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 that have been online for much longer than that, but in the context of Monster Hunter, it's significant. It really is. Yes, Yamatori, hopefully I will not be running into that Brandon person. I might jump in with this person. Could not enter the room. I presume that means that the room has been closed, or... Can't imagine this guy having blocked me. That's hard to imagine. Could not enter the room. I don't think I've ever encountered that message before, or at least not recently. Who knows? Okay. This is actually the top room, like the very first one, which therefore probably means it has been open for the longest, which therefore, in turn, means that this is probably the most likely one to be closed at some point in the near future. But that's alright, there are plenty of rooms for me to choose from, and I will be bouncing back and forth between them, I suspect. We are also going to see a lot more high-ranked people around as they come in and play the game during its final moments. You will notice that I'm not sitting here like bawling my eyes out or getting angry with Capcom or anything like that. Obviously, I've explained why I'm not angry with Capcom for... Well, it wouldn't be Capcom, sorry. It would be Nintendo closing the servers. It's got nothing to do with Capcom. Yeah, obviously I've explained why I'm not frustrated at the moment, in part. But to complete the explanation, I was not expecting these servers to last this long. I was prepared for these servers to close many, many years ago. So, sad as it might be, I feel like I had already prepared for this so long ago that it just almost doesn't matter anymore. There will be moments in the future where I look back on these times and think, oh, how nice was it that we could connect to one group here and all play together, with minimal difficulties. But you know what, these things don't last forever, so enjoy it while we still got it. It's not for much longer, but yeah. I will join up on this quest. I believe that Rocksteady is sufficient for resisting the roar of a Crimson Qurupeco. There will be probably no mention, except for now, of the closure of the 3DS servers in this recording. Obviously that will impact both Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and Monster Hunter Generations. I don't really have any warmth for those games, insofar as their online communities are concerned. There are two reasons why. One is actually community related, and that's referring to Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. That is just a game full of cheaters and idiots. That's how it was 5 years ago. I have reason to believe it is still that today. As for Generations, I just, most of my lack of sadness for the closure of the 3DS servers is down to the fact that I was devastated that Monster Hunter was releasing on the 3DS in the first place, and by the time I had played Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, I just could not bring myself to continue playing Monster Hunter on a 3DS system when Generations came out. I was able to pull myself together, grit my teeth, and get it done for about 6 days. It was less than 7 days, I remember that. It was 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many days, but it was less than a week that I was able to sit down and play Generations before I just put that fucking console down and said, I am sick of this. I cannot play Monster Hunter on a 3DS anymore. I hate it. It is desperately painful to do this. One of the reasons why is because this experience that you're seeing here is so manifestly superior to that experience that, as a consequence, all I was doing in my mind was comparing the experiences. I was sitting here going, oh, well, how nice would it be if I could freely type with a keyboard to these people during the hunt? How good would it be to not have to look at this little screen, that is in my hands? I would so much prefer a stationary console experience while playing this game. Obviously, that wasn't possible because it was a Nintendo 3DS. So, there you have it. This is the game, for me, that was the ideal experience for Monster Hunter. So this is the game that I will be playing in its final moments, and this is the game that I will be lamenting the closure of. Yeah, I'll make a lobby for you to join, AJ. but I'll just hunt with these guys to start with. Yeah, if I could get AJ and Tavo in, that would be great. And possibly someone else, another viewer of mine, but I sort of want to connect with the community at the moment. That's not to preclude viewer hunts, but it is to say that I'd like to just bounce around a few lobbies first, or a few rooms first, to see how people are going. It's also nice to be hunting Crimson Qurupeco as our first monster. This is a monster that exists literally in 2 games. This one and Portable Third. Fuck. Maybe I shouldn't have charged my weapon. I don't know how the 4 of us were not able to actually kill him before he left. I don't know if that was some sort of hubristic expectation that 2 of us or 1 of us might be able to kill him, but it looked like I was the only one pursuing the fucking monster, so I'm not really happy to see that. And quite ironically, the people who failed to actually attack the monster while it was limping decided not to pursue it either. They decided, oh no, I'm just going to stand here and wait for the next one to spawn once our servants have gone and dispatched the monster. It's not a good attitude when you actually made no visible effort to attack the monster while it was limping, so yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be sticking around here for much longer. I detect a hint of laziness and stupidity from the people that I'm playing with. I'm detecting a hint of it, that's all. Just a whiff. This is going to be a little bit slow going, because we have to wait some time for each monster to spawn, but obviously the confrontations themselves will be quite fast. I presume they've put the trap in the correct spot. I actually don't know where exactly he spawns in this area. Here we go. Yep, looks like a good spot. Good placement. I was hoping that I would be in the right spot there, but I was not. My positioning was inadequate, we will say. I know it looks like I just missed all of those attacks, but believe me, well rather, pray with me that layer compensation will have dealt the damage. Whoops. Rachel's doing a good job of hitting away the paralysis user. You don't often see that hammer being used. I will give you a hint as to why. It's because it's not very good. But it doesn't matter. We're all just having fun here, right? Just having fun. And besides, I tend to use weapons that are suboptimal for fun. What the hell is he calling? I couldn't actually recognize that call, that sound that Qurupeco made. I was hoping that I'd be able to get my attack out before I got swung away, but oh well. I will carve this one. I wasn't going to pursue the other one just to carve it. But yeah, in terms of coloration, this is one of the more attractive monsters in 3rd generation as well. But yeah, a fairly underrated subspecies. If you're used to fighting a regular Qurupeco, it's actually a fun fight. The way that he is able to actually roar and affect you with the roar, and also flash bomb you, and yeah, produce lightning attacks instead of fire attacks. For someone who played a lot of Trier, it was refreshing. Some trivia for those who are not as familiar with the 3rd generation games. Portable Third was the first game to actually have subspecies for the 3rd gen monsters. So the majority of the subspecies that you see here originated from Portable Third. I'm not really doing the right thing here by aligning myself directly with the bowgunner, but anyway. Strepauer is getting annihilated. Sorry, I can't say any German words in a soft or non-aggressive fashion. It has to be very, very vocal and bellicose. Can we not? Although I suppose I can't blame him for shooting his bowgun. Last time it was acceptable that I was getting hit because I was aligning with his shots, but that time he was basically aiming for me, which I didn't appreciate. What the hell killed him? It was someone awkwardly bouncing off him. Strepauer is using the shortening GH to say good hunt, which is ill-advised. The reason being that GH also means gathering hall. You know, that is another meaning of GH. Now, obviously, context will make it clear which of the two he means, but I just think it's a bad idea to shorten it to GH. I suppose it's better than saying GG, but still, it's best to avoid acronyms that also mean other things in the context of Monster Hunter. This is just coffee, autonomic, instant coffee, just to get me started. It's a little bit early today, so just needed a bit of a kick. Wine shall follow. As for how long this recording will go for, I don't know, we'll see. It'll definitely be the minimum of 2 hours, but I may take it to 3, depending. Someone's going to ask, depending on what, Dougling? Well, depending on my mood and also my stomach, because I haven't eaten, so I may be too hungry to continue. Who knows? Those are some garbage talismans right there. And that's an exceptional amount of HRP, considering the monsters we just fought. That's 3,540, I think, which is a lot considering those are just Qurupeco's. 3 hours for 3rd generation. Yeah, okay. I guess that does correspond in one way or another. Apparently they're doing turns, which is fine. I'm not going to stick around until my turn comes up. Like I suggested, I want to hop around a few rooms just to play with as many people as I can. It feels like the natural thing to do, but I suppose other people who are built slightly different mentally are still putting up passworded rooms, which is fine. The world would be boring if we were all built the same. And someone's going to protest that. They're going to say, what's wrong with that? So I'm like, well, you know, these people are not reserving a space for 4 of them. They're reserving a space for 2 of them and then preventing others from joining them, okay? This is the situation. Which I find to be incomprehensible, given that this game is disappearing in 24 hours, but anyway. We've got Morales on the board. I will do this before I change rooms. I might actually use a lance. That sounds like a nice idea. This will be... Wait, do I have the Stygian Zinogre lance in this game? I might not, actually. The hell is... Oh, that's... Why do I have... That is presumably the fully upgraded Lucent Nargacuga lance, and this is the second to last version. So why do I have both? Why? What's wrong with me? This is difficult to make sense of. I think it might be because this one has max sharpness and this one doesn't, but why would I... Why? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, I do have vague memories of having done that, but I don't understand it. That's all I can say, I don't understand it. Okay, it doesn't appear that I have a Dragon Lance to use with Awakens, so I may actually just use Slime. Let's do that. Which will of course be... Rising Tempest. This is a lance you don't see enough of in this game. It's fucking good, by the way. I've explained it before, it's one of those weapons that would be perfectly effective if you were to use it as a raw weapon, but this, in addition to its very high raw damage, has 500 slime. For those who... for the uninitiated, slime is fucking strong, so it's a very good, good weapon. Get rid of this bloody slog bone wherever it's ended up. Here we go. Okay. Potato is here for 3 Ultimates funeral procession. No. It's still alive, see? Look on your screen, it's not dead yet. The funeral procession does not take place while the person whose life is being celebrated is still alive. Just thought I'd clarify that for those who are unsure. Oh, are you saying Rachel? So one of the people in this room is James, is that right? So James, obviously, for those who are not caught up on the lore of this game, is an absolute pudding of a human being. And why am I... I'm doing something that I've never done before, and it is resulting in an almost instant death before I've even engaged the monster. So if Rachel is indeed James, then that's actually quite funny, that considering there are 3 pages of rooms, the first one I joined has James in it. James is a person who would have blocked me a long time ago if he actually knew how to block people. He's one of those who, you know, I've caused him to log off a number of times because he's actually, instead of blocking me, chosen to just stop playing the game entirely, which is very funny. He's one of those people who in the past has created rooms because he needs to have the ability to kick people at any time, otherwise he is terribly uncomfortable. I suppose he's made an exception today for one reason or another, but just to give you an example, I was kicked from his room once. This is just one example, there are several examples of this, which may give you an idea as to why I have treated him unkindly in the past. One time he dropped, I think it was about 5 sleep meats in one area for a Deviljho, and I explained to him that, you know, that's not a good idea. And I actually didn't even explain it in aggressive or unkind terms. I just made it very clear that what he was doing made no sense. And he was so desperately offended by this that he kicked me from the room because I was criticizing him. So, you know, that's the kind of person we're dealing with here. He's very thin-skinned. And, yeah, that's the end of my TED Talk. Just a bit of lore. You start to encounter some strange people when you play online, in games where not many people play online in them. Well, I suppose it makes sense that you'd think that he quit, if you hadn't seen his name, but it seems that he's got other accounts. Other characters, I should say. If I ever say account instead of character, I hope that you'll understand what I mean. I'm not suggesting that the person has multiple Nintendo profiles on the Wii U. I'm saying they have multiple characters. But I suppose it's technically possible that they've made different accounts as well. I have not personally made a mental note of James's whatever it is, Wii U ID, Nintendo ID, I don't know. Whatever the fucking ID is, and however you refer to it. I don't think I have much sharpness on this lance beyond, or I suppose after I lose my purple sharpness, but while I've got the monster here, I may as well just continue attacking. It's a bit discombobulating when your camera goes above the surface of the water, but you're still underwater. It's a bit hard to actually see what in the fresh hell is going on. Okay, I think it's time to sharpen up. And besides, I think he's gearing up for a... No, thought he was gearing up for a snap and drag. Hello Takashi, good to see you. And thanks for the resub. This was the game that you found me in. Soon to be no more, this game. Very sad. He says with no emotion on his face. But it is sad, but also not. It's inevitable, so... you know. I'll just give the game its farewell. I shall let it go gracefully. I think one of the reasons why I'm not actually sad about it as well is that I can still play it, and I can play it online as well. It's just going to be hard to record it, because I will be at great pains to find people to play consistently with. AJ, if you're still there, do you have the emulated version set up? Because we could play together, definitely. That would be good for recording as well, because at least that way I will have someone to ensure that the live stream will go ahead for the full 2 hours when I sit down to record it. Whereas if you rely on someone else, it can be uncertain whether or not you can actually get a live stream out of them. Oh, Yuli's playing, that's good. I will go and join that room then. I wanted to hop around the community a bit, but if Yuli's online, I'll play with him. Yeah, it's funny, I've been playing this game and just finding Yuli randomly. I suppose because, you know, he's had stints in the game where he's been playing consistently, and because there aren't many people playing in general, it's pretty easy to find him when he's here, but, yep. I will join the room once this quest is over. I'm surprised he's not on 3G. I'm sure there are many festivities going on in 3G at the moment. Maybe those strange people have finally pulled themselves off Monster Hunter Rise to play a real Monster Hunter game. Because apparently 3G died when Monster Hunter Rise released, and remained dead. Strange people. Well, shockingly, I was able to avoid getting hit entirely. What are you doing? Might attack the foot to get a knockdown, while it's not actually causing me to bounce. Now, the reason why I have raw resistance is mainly for when I use gun lances with this set. I can assure you that I don't usually have the ability to resist raws on lance sets. It's just a consequence of this being a set that I use multiple weapon types with. As you can see, these... oh, whoops. I'm entirely incorrect. I've used my General Blade Master Awakened set instead of my Lance/Gun Lance Awakened set. It still works just fine. Come to think of it, I don't think I do have the ability to resist raws with that set. The one that I thought I was using. See, I thought it was a little strange, but then I just explained it away. Thinking, oh no, maybe with Gun Lance I do want to have some ability to resist raws, because I can't shield with the with as many opportunities as I can with the lance. Don't know if you're being sarcastic or ironic, but if you do love Rise, then power to you. Like I say, the world would be boring if we were all built the same. Would it not? Don't you find it ironic that I can kill practically the final boss of the fucking game and get less points for that, like considerably less points for that, as compared to killing 3 Crimson Qurupeco? That's why I thought it was a bit bizarre that I was getting so many damn points from that previous quest. That was unbelievable. It was excessive. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I mean, it sounds like I am, but I'm not. I can accept the points if the game wants to give them to me, but I got 2,000 HRP for killing that Diamoralis, and then a whole lot more. It was 3,480 or something like that from killing the Crimson Qurupeco's, so doesn't quite make sense. I didn't even check to see if this was the room, but I presume that this is the one. I was told that it was the one with the face, with the scrunched up eyes. Looks like Yuli wasn't expecting me to come, but there you go. It's good that the room didn't fill up. Yeah, that's cool. It's a bit of a Hunsterverse lobby now, because I met both of these guys on Hunsterverse, so it's pretty cool that we're here playing together. I'm gonna do a screenshot. If I can work out how to do it. There we go. It's good that I'm able to play with these guys in the final moments. If any of you watching can join, feel free to participate. It's quite a weird screenshot. I look too big for the picture. I look like I've been inflated in size because the player list is actually quite small on the screen. You only need some high rank Alatreon. I don't mind doing that. Oh, Yuli's going to lock it down. So he suggests to bring Brachydios dual blades. Okay. Presumably he's going to go with a status run or a status loadout. So, is there anything else that I'd want to bring? I mean, there are other things that you can use that will deal heavy damage. I mean, for example, I could go normal heavy bowgun and just unload on the monster's face. But AJ does not have the Brachydios dual blades. So maybe I should use them if he doesn't have them. I don't know if you guys remember me saying this, but apparently I can fix this keyboard by shaking it. I don't know why. I think the batteries are not properly lodged in there. I just feel like it would be a little more fun to use a heavy bowgun. Like normal heavy bowgun. I don't get those opportunities to unload on the face of a monster while it's locked down with normal. Doesn't happen very often anymore. Alright. Brago has joined the room. Looks like it's someone watching, so... Excuse me, I belched a little there. Apparently, that face is a form of greeting. Oh, I see. I thought it was a slash to... Do you know how some people will say hello in different languages and they do a stroke to, you know, differentiate between the two greetings? But no, it's actually a face waving. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew it was a face, but then I realized that that was an arm waving. I will bring Brachydios dual blades at Yuli's request, primarily because AJ can't bring them himself, so I'll bring this. Obviously Rocksteady does not have much of an effect in this quest, but that's fine, I'll live with it. I never use these things anymore. So I think AJ is going to be using the Grongigas, which is still a perfectly fine choice. We might be able to get a... well, we certainly will be able to get a KO in there as well. I'd say that's better than having all of us go Brachydios dual blades. Alright, catch you later, Yamatori. Glad you were able to join. Bringing my Psycho Serums for the Alatreon hunt, very important. I might lose him. But yeah, one of the reasons why I don't mind fighting Alatreon in high rank is because it still feels a bit like a G rank hunt. It's just that the G rank version feels like a particularly strong G rank monster. Nope. AJ has decided... what? Why? Just when I was talking about the Grongigas hammer being a good choice, you've elected to choose a weapon that's not fully upgraded, unless you're worried about us beating on a high rank monster, and you've chosen to use something level appropriate, which is funny. Why? Yuli is telling us to bring Dash Juice, so I will bring that. 2 should suffice. Yeah, I don't know why AJ's opted for that weapon, but it's not much of a handicap when we're going to be beating on this monster so ferociously. Alright. What am I being given? I have to try and accept this without standing by accidentally. Do I have a receiving button here? Like you do in 2nd gen? Sleepy fish. Oh, okay. Perhaps I should bring combination materials for... I'm not going to bring many, I'm just going to bring enough to make a few more Barrel Bomb L+. I'm not going to be bringing large barrels and gunpowder and all this business. Don't have time for that shit. This is a lot of preparation for a high rank Alatreon, but... oh, he really doesn't want you to KO it. Okay. Very well. I'd amend that to say 2013 to 2014 autonomic, because I don't have much warmth for the 3DS version, but I suppose technically that is the version that I will be playing once I can no longer play this. So, yeah, of course I refer to the emulated 3DS version. Someone's gonna say, but the 3DS is closing down too. Yes, I'm aware, thank you. Or maybe it was obvious enough. Okay. Ooh. Bloody head. I don't think I have nullberries, so I'm gonna have to go and get some, like now. Because that is not a good situation to be in. Just as we, well, fortunately starting with sleep, so that makes life a little easier. L+. Someone was dropping standard bombs there. Let me combine. Are you shitting me? I just got garbage for all of that. I realised I was being a little bit lazy there by not bringing more combination books. Or possibly not any at all. Oh yeah, I didn't bring any. See, in a lot of other Monster Hunter games that I play, I do always have combination books on hand, but obviously not for this one. I will use my dash juice when I am ready to. Not quite ready yet. Okay. So I can see now why Yurley didn't want AJ contributing to KO. The reason why is because it's easier for Yurley to keep track of the KO build-up if he is the only one applying the KO with his crag shot. It's also a little bit difficult to hit the head with crag exploding on the head, but that's by the by. I'm sure there are ways to get around that. There we go. Sadly, I cannot actually contribute at all because I just got only garbage, so... Yeah, I don't know if Yurley has bombs. How are we detonating? From there? Okay. He's going in the air, which obviously ruins our... Oh, Yurley wants to retry. Okay, apparently he made a mistake with something. Hey. I don't mind, but I don't want to do too much of this. I'd like to do just normal hunts as well. I don't want to, you know, spend too much time fucking around with these sort of hunts. Yeah, AJ, if it does actually become that, I will move on. Genuinely. Let me just see what my combination chance is now. It is... You're not going to give me a fucking percentage? Because I technically can't combine it? Fuck you. Alright, I'll just bring 2 then. It's just that I'm live at the moment, so I'd like consistent hunts, not let's try to speedrun a high rank Alatreon, fail, and then try again. That's actually good timing. I'm glad that we retried that because my batteries in this controller just ran out. So that's one thing that I won't have to contend with when I'm playing emulated. Batteries running out. AJ, could you let them know that I'm changing my batteries? Well, actually, it's only Yurley who needs to be told. I think his name's Brago. He is already watching the live stream, so... I will be back in a moment. I'm back with a working controller now. Okay, I think I can get exchanges, so I will get that. And how about that? Feline Pyro, that works quite well. Exchanger and Pyro, those are the best skills that I feel that I could get right now. Alright. AJ, you can purchase Scatterfish. You need to check the granny more often, man. It's not Monster Hunter Try. If this were Monster Hunter Try, yes, you would need to do some fish gathering at Moga Village. But you are not forced to do that in this game. But yeah, you can buy Scannerfish, you can buy honey. Similar to the granny in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, there will be certain moments where the granny sells everything she can sell all at once. Brago's headpiece is green Nargacuga. The reason why I roll there is just to prevent my character from, I suppose, doing that almost flinching maneuver when spotted. Just annoys me when I get hit by that. Feels weird to say hit by that. I suppose affected by that is what I mean to say. But yeah, you can see that the amount of damage that I'm taking is much less, and that's because this is a high rank Alatreon. Alright, let's see how we go with the combinations. 65% success rate. Oh, my pouch is full. I was about to say, what the fuck is going on? This is miserable. I will just combine for some more or attempt to combine for some more bombs once I have another sleep going. Lovely. I actually prefer the idea of doing a standard combo when the head is moving around. It just means that more damage is going to be attached to each swing of the dual blades. Whereas with Demon Dance, it's really only effective if every single one of your attacks are making contact. Fucking hell. I probably should use the dash juice now. I'm well and truly off target. I did not forget books again. I just can't fit enough books in my inventory. I have 65% combination chance with 2 combo books. So, alright. I'm guessing that Yuli is asking for sleepy fish. I will give them to him in a moment. Yes. Alright. Well, I was lucky enough to get 2 successful combinations that time, and he's dead. Again, only high rank. I probably should carve, because I don't think I have that much high rank stuff. And while I'm here, I may as well gather some nullberries. I think I do have some in my box, I just haven't been putting them in my inventory. To be honest, the scatterfish are more valuable than these materials, to be honest with you. Hello, Beta. Happy to see that you're all able to join, as I do my final live stream for this game. It's a special occasion. Doesn't get much more special than this. There can only be one final, well, unless I'm being an idiot and choose to do another live stream, but there can, within reason, only be one final recording, so... It's quite a funny, killing shot. I don't like calling it a kill cam, it just feels wrong, but I guess you can call it a kill cam. If you want to, you may. Look how few high rank Alatreon materials I have. It's because, you know, keep in mind that I don't hunt high rank Alatreon very often, and also keep in mind that I would have had to use a number of high rank Alatreon materials in order to forge the weapons at some point. So, you know, that lack of incoming materials in addition to outgoing materials from that monster has left me skinned when it comes to high rank Alatreon pieces, but I'm not too concerned about that. Is that a dancing Bowser emote? Yes. I'm not sure what Yurley actually needed, but hopefully we don't need to do another one. I've not actually seen that mask before. It's just a big piece of meat on Char Char's head. Someone's going to wonder how I haven't seen that mask before. But, yeah. I guess I just... I'm not as familiar with the Shakalaka stuff. That looks like a fun quest. Let's see if I can actually write it all. It's Nargacuga, right? I was going to say that it wasn't necessary for me to actually mention what the subspecies were, but technically Ivory Lagi does have a different primary weakness, which is Dragon. But I would bring Fire for this quest either way, just because it is a consistent weakness across all of the monsters, so yeah. I might actually bring a bow, that's a nice idea. How about this? I do not bring this bow nearly enough anymore to quests. Alright, triple threat. Speaking of green Nargacuga equipment, I have the pants. In fact, that would make a good shirt. I have the pants. Which is generally true, at any rate. Oh great, we've got 2 hunting horns. This is going to be a real fast hunt. The more hunting horns, the better, right? No, we're just having fun. We don't need to be well optimized. And besides, a person who is adept at the use of Hunting Horn can balance out the lack of damage that it deals by playing well with the weapon itself. So, there you have it. You know, if you magnetize yourself to the head and get lots of KO damage out, you can make up for the lack of damage that the weapon has in general. You will notice that I didn't bring any coatings. That is because I believe this bow does not actually shoot any power coatings, and I couldn't be bothered wasting time with close-range coatings right now. I hope I'm correct about that. If I'm not, then I'm an idiot. Yeah. Well, I can't actually check which monsters are here, but I think it starts with Nargacuga. Or does it start with Plesioth? It starts with Plesioth, I think. Yeah. Okay. So, do we want to fish him out? I think we should fish him out. So, AJ, I would advise against going in that direction, because that would make fishing him out a little harder. Hello, Gaming. What if my microphone still looks kind of close to my face, but it's fairly far away. It's just the perspective. The relevance of that is that I try to make sure that my microphone's not covering my face in any way. It's a long story relating to my recording setup that, quite frankly, would not make for interesting conversation at this stage. We do actually have a limited amount of time in which to fish this monster out. He will move on to Area 11 if we're not quick enough. Got a frog. I will replace the worm that I just picked up. I made absolutely no attempt to fix my inventory before actually departing on this quest, but anyway. I hope he's still in the area. I didn't double check before putting my frog in the water, but we may have actually lost our opportunity to do this. May have taken too long. I suspect he's not here anymore, because I'm not seeing him moving around. Yuli has reacted with Peeposad. Yeah. Just took too long, that's all. I think the worst aspect to this is that we now have to fight him underwater. Oh well. I hope that you were not the one in the hospital, Gaming, and if you were, I suppose I can be nosy and ask, why are you in the hospital? Oh, there's not much point. As much as I would like to fight this monster on land, I don't think I'm willing to actually go all the way back there. And besides, it's too late. We would have to, in addition to that, wait until the monster was no longer, I suppose, seeing us or aware of us. Or in combat, that's the term that I'm looking for. What's she doing? That's very nice of you, going back to the shore. Of course, swimming into a ruinous pillar, first and foremost, but then going back onto the shore. Well, that's good, again. Someone might think me to be insensitive to inquire into Gaming's reasons for being in the hospital, but you see, he elected to tell me that he was in the hospital in general, which obviously then will follow inquiries thereof. So, or will be followed up with inquiries. So, if he didn't want to tell me, he could have just not mentioned he was in the hospital. So any accusations of insensitivity, quite frankly, should be abandoned forthwith. Just trying to get a nice width of the monster to get my spread shots out on. It's a weirdly constructed sentence. It's just Mega Potions. It's fairly typical for triple quests anyway. Alright, so we've got Nargacuga next. It will actually be faster to... No, it won't be faster. I'm thinking of Monster Hunter Portable Third, where you can actually climb up to Area 8 from here. Is that Portable Third? No. Is it Portable Third, or is it the later games? I think it might be Generations Ultimate where you can do that, in the Deserted Island. Anyway, I don't think that's a third-gen thing, where you can actually access Area 8 from Area 10. Obviously, there are no underwater locations in Portable Third and the other games that have Deserted Island other than Tri and 3 Ultimate, but I don't think Portable Third had that shortcut. Although it may have done, and I'm just unsure because I've played too many versions of Monster Hunter at this point. They do make you walk some distance in this quest, don't they? I think Ivory Lagiacrus will start in Area 9, by the way. So we'll be making our way back in that direction after this fight. Oh. Doing some more roaring. Should have timed my roll a little better. I'm glad that he was flinched there, because otherwise I probably would have taken a hit. I wasn't expecting a follow-up. I think that's one of the hallmarks of a green Nargacuga. Has a few additional attacks in his combo. They have to do something differently, right? You keep away from me, you green thing. Maybe he's attracted to my pants. Wants to mate with me or something. This is your last chance, green Nargacuga. You're going to lose your chance soon. Not going to be able to enjoy some action with hunters anymore. That's a very strange way of explaining that. Anyway. I'm not really in need of any healing wares, so I shall not be carving any monsters. Or at least, not at this stage. You never know, I might need healing wares. Namely Mega Potions. After we've fought the Ivory Lagiacrus, but I'm not planning on getting hit or anything. We'll see how we go. He wants revenge for my pants. And obviously whatever Nargacuga was dispatched in order to forge them. Green Nargacuga joining the big hunt in the sky soon. The big hunt in the sky, indeed. I just want to be here for the Lagiacrus spawning. I will tell you why. He doesn't fall into the area, he doesn't walk into the area. He instant transmissions into the area. It's very important that you guys witness this, because it's funny. It's actually funny. They didn't even consider giving him an entrance of any kind. He's just, oh, here he is. So, for those of you who haven't seen it, I thought that I would show you. Oh my god. What were they thinking? If you can't have him enter the area in any way, choose a different fucking area. Seriously. Like, I don't know, Area 7. He can come in from the water. Because they do have him leave Area 7 by having him go through the water, so I don't see why they don't just fucking do that for his entrance as well. It's better than him literally appearing out of thin air. I get it, it's Monster Hunter, so don't take it literally. It's not going to be that realistic at all times, but I feel like that's going a little far. Anyway. Monsters that can fit in the tunnel do go through that. Peaberry, yes. Specifically, Royal Ludroth. I do know that Royal Ludroth goes through there. hilariously, when he goes through the tunnel, he still ends up clipping through the wall anyway, so even that is a bit of a disjointed entrance, but it's still better than instantly appearing like that. I think I've got spread level 5 or something. It ends up being so wide. Yeah, spread level 5. I don't know if you've been able to see it, but even when it looks like I'm well positioned, just the width of that is insane. Like if you look to the far left and see how wide that arc is, my god. You know, there's a likelihood every time that you release those arrows that you're just not going to get all of them on target with the monster because of how wide the damn arc is. That was very nice of you. AJ's got his pellet out in an online hunt. "80 affinity, wow. Courtesy of the buffs from the hunting horn, he ended up with 1587 attack and 80 affinity. That's healthy, isn't it? Very good. I will need to sell some Ivory Lagiacrus PLs. Evidently. Jesus! Did I have Exchanger? That was 7,000 HRP for that quest. I must have had Exchanger, but that's a lot. My god. 7,000 from one quest. It's extraordinary. Okay, Ivory Lagiacrus peels. Let's go and make some space in our box by deleting something that I don't need. There we go. I am so desperate for the money, of course. I don't know if you responded to what I said, AJ, but did you have the emulated version set up and ready to go? Because if you don't, probably should get to that soon. I guess you, well, I don't know. It depends if you have the 3DS version or not, to then shift that over to the 3DS and then dump the save file, but anyway. Moonlit Trist, this is quite a quest. Okay, that's good. I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to transfer my save file before the server shut down. Just in case. Okay. Just thinking what would be best for this quest. Max damage, I suppose. Well, probably Thunder element if I wanted to use something elemental. How about Ivory Lagiacrus Switch Axe? I never used that fucking thing. It's not very good as a thunder weapon, is it? It's only got 180 thunder. I don't know what they were thinking making it so low, but... yeah, I remember being struck by that when I first made this Switch Axe. Long time ago, like 10 years ago. But yeah. It's probably one of the least effective, in my opinion, of the Abyssal Lagiacrus weapons, so you know what, I'm not going to use it. I just got done talking about dealing max damage, and then I proceeded to equip a weapon that I consider to be shit. I might actually use the Bryson Demolisher, I never used that. When was the last time you saw me use this fucking thing? My god. I do love the hue of this weapon. Just making sure it's fully upgraded, I wasn't sure. But yeah, why not? It's not a weapon that you see very often out of high rank anyway. So, may as well use it, just for fun. Hello, Wonderlord. Yeah, that was actually something I was going to mention, you know, Pretendo working with 3 Ultimate. I don't know if that's going to work or not. It probably will at some point, but I think I'm just going to stick to the emulated version. If there's an abundance of people playing, well, I shouldn't say an abundance, if there are some people playing 3 Ultimate on the Wii U with the Pretendo servers, perhaps I will join in, but I think I might be just going to emulate it after this. We'll see how things go. Yeah, there are positives and negatives to playing the emulated version. One obvious negative is that it's the 3DS version, but you can get textures and whatnot to make it look less shit, and obviously, you know, get a different UI and other such things. And better yet, you can remove the bloom. There might be ways to do that on the Wii U, but I think it would require custom firmware, which I do not have on my Wii U at this stage, and probably never will, because I don't see a need to at this point. Although, I may as well in the future, to be honest. I'll work that out in time to come. What am I doing? I'm bringing some smoke bombs. Let's try to smoke bomb. If we fail to, then fine, but, you know, if we do fail, that's it. We are stuck fighting both of them. So, and it's not good. Let me just make that very clear. It is not enjoyable in any way, shape, or form to fight both of these monsters in the arena at the same time. It sucks. Wonderlord, you can see that the servers are still up. That's right, Brago. And the Switch Axe, for some reason, is the exception to that rule. It has a very small amount of element. Okay. Yuli's going straight in, so I'm assuming that he is smoke bombing. Okay. I don't know if he's the designated smoke bombing guy, but I will assist with the smoke bombing anyway. There can be downsides to that. For example, it might throw his timing off, but if I remain dedicated to smoke bombing myself, that shouldn't be an issue. In theory. Okay. I do have bombs, but I might drop another smoke bomb just for good measure. Yuli's bombs might actually be too far away to make contact. Anyway. Just dropping another smoke bomb for good measure. For good mesure. Every time I say measure, I just want to make it sound French. Mesure. Mesure. Rathian just totally nonplussed by the fact that her husband is being annihilated. Right before our eyes. Oh, this is dangerous. I have to keep away from her. Oh, sorry, Yuli. Just about. Are you going for the capture? Oh, no, 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 no. No, I'm sorry. Oh, fuck. How negligent of me. That's like the first time I've ever done that in my life. That's alright. I feel like Silver is close to death anyway. After this amount of damage, I hope we're fairly... Oh no! I do apologize for this. This is entirely my fault, and very much out of character for me to be so foolish. Whatever. There we go. Jesus. It's a bit hard to, you know, hit the monster if we can't hit the monster. I don't really know how else to put that. It's not going to be beneficial for us to, you know, like, the damage of 4 people is going to be better than the damage of 1 person, yearly, so if you're hitting us away, you can't expect this hunt to be done anytime soon. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know why I continued attacking there, that was just stupid. I also don't have any flash bombs on hand, so I can't really contribute in that regard. Obviously, we can't really flash bomb too many more times. Fuck off, Rathian. Being affected by her wind pressure. Trying to keep an eye on that fucking tail of hers. I'm about to get comboed. Oh, fuck. I was really hoping that Silver was closer than that, because keep in mind, he does have reduced health because he is one of 2 monsters, but even then, we apparently hadn't done as much damage as I had hoped. AJ is getting caught. I don't have life powders either. I've done a very good job of not contributing and simultaneously making things worse for the whole team. I do apologize. Some of the worst performance I've had, not just on camera, but off camera as well. I'd like to get to the wing, but I can't. I will attack her anus instead. Yes, Yuli is shooting cluster shots to the detriment of the whole team, thus reducing our DPS to nothing. As I say, no matter how much damage that cluster shot is doing, well, maybe not no matter how much, but the amount of damage that cluster shot can conceivably do, in my mind, is not going to be better than 3 of us hitting the monster, if that makes sense. Should have reloaded beforehand, but oh well. May as well go for the tail, seeing as though it's here. Yeah, this is like my first hunt using this switch axe in God knows how many years. Very long time. Weirdly, I haven't even used it for fun at all in recent years. The Brachydios weapons just haven't been on my radar at all to use for variety or for anything, really. I will reload, just because I want to have something to make use of once this monster wakes up again. Is that cluster shot going out again? Jesus. Cluster shot should only be used against monsters that can absorb the explosions. This is not an example of that kind of monster, you know. It's not worth it. Like, the amount of damage that you're dealing is not worth it to knock the whole team away from the monster. You're curtailing quite violently the DPS of 3 people, and it's, yeah, it's not worth it. just keeping clear of the monster while... Oh, there you go. That was actually a blast explosion that killed her. I would say, generally speaking, nicely done, except for my boneheaded move of hitting the Golrathian, and Yurley's boneheaded move of using Cluster Shot against Rathian and a Rathalos online. That's alright. What is not alright is that the Silver Rathalos has already despawned. I've talked about it before, but the monsters despawn very quickly in this game. That's right, Wonderlord. In fact, the Switch Axe, when it was first brought into the series, was particularly weak. It is usually the case that when a weapon type is first introduced, it's made to be very strong, I think intentionally, to encourage people to use the new weapon. But the way they did it in Monster Hunter Tri was that they made the inflated values very high, so it had the appearance of being very strong, but then in actual fact the motion values were shit. So it's actually quite a weak weapon in that game. But then, obviously, because the inflated values are high, the assumption is, and it was my assumption at the time as well, not being as well versed in the back-end mathematics of the game, and I should mention that I'm still not that well versed, I just have a basic understanding, as opposed to no understanding. Yeah, I just assumed that the inflated values would correspond to the fucking damage that they dealt, but it didn't, really. Those inflated values really, when you don't actually understand what they truly mean, are really only helpful for comparing with other weapons of its same class. You know, you're basically using it as a point of reference for other weapons in that class. So presumably you can assume that a Switch Axe that deals 1300 damage is going to be better, considerably better than a Switch Axe that does 900 damage, but, you know, what do those values actually mean? That's where things get very confusing for a person who doesn't understand how damage application works in Monster Hunter, and they're looking at inflated values, assuming that it actually has some fucking meaning. I don't know what they were thinking, doing inflated values. Again, that's one theory that I have. The inflated values being quite high for Switch Axe to make it appear as if it's a strong weapon, thus encouraging people to use it. But that's probably not the only reason behind inflated values existing in general. I think it's really pointless and confusing, but, you know, when we talk about things that could be streamlined or improved upon in Monster Hunter, I feel like the removal of inflated values would be an obvious thing. You know, that is a complicated and simultaneously unnecessary feature of the Monster Hunter games in the original series, and I think I can't remember if they did away with inflated values or not. I know they didn't in World, but maybe in Rise they did, I don't remember. What I can say is that in Monster Hunter World I did install the mod on the PC version to show the true values rather than the inflated values. But yeah, based on AJ's progress in the game, I'm happy for him to just post at this point. Best of enemies. God, is this one at a time? This is going to be a snooze. Alright. Based on the lineup, it's probably 2 at a time, because looking at that lineup, you've got a strong monster and then a weak monster, so I think they're going to spawn in pairs, most likely. Hey. What's going to be the... I'll just use something general. Something that'll be effective against all of them. Might bring normal heavy bowgun. I haven't been gunning enough, have I? We are 1 hour and 26 minutes into the live stream. What I will do for the last 30 minutes, possibly to an hour, is I will leave this room actually, and I'll go and try to hunt with other people in the community, because it feels a bit weird to celebrate the closure of the servers in this insulated environment. You know, I want to be out there hunting with people. I want to share the experience with others, unlike those rather strange people who even now are putting passwords on their rooms. But yeah. Obviously I'm happy to share the experience with you guys here, but I don't want that to be my only experience here in the last moments of the servers being up. I will bring combination materials for normal level 2. And that should really be all that I need to do. Yes, it is Needleberry that I had. I was looking at Scatter Nuts, and I had that in my mind in that moment. Oh, I got someone's guild card, let me accept that. Brago. I will send to all. I believe both AJ and... Oh, okay. AJ had my guild card, Yurley did not. I don't know why Yurley didn't have mine. I probably just forgot to send it. Wonderlord asks the question, what do you think of Chargeblade and Insect Glaive? Do you think these weapons fit Monster Hunter? They fit Monster Hunter. I think they're both pretty good weapons, actually. I think Insect Glaive was spoilt by the mounting system of 4 Ultimate. I don't want to accuse Insect Glaive of being overpowered. I would say that mounting mechanics were imbalanced in that game. So, as a consequence, Insect Glaive was too strong, which was a problem. I would say that Chargeblade was also very strong, but required more skill and understanding of how to use the weapon than the Insect Glaive in order to take advantage of its high damage. So that felt like a more balanced approach to it. I can say that when 4 Ultimate came out, I was not very enthused by the Chargeblade, but that was probably more because I was very comfortable with all of the weapon types in the game up until that point. And I wasn't really keen on learning this complicated new weapon type at that time. It didn't mean that I never did learn how to use it, it just meant that I was a bit slow on learning it. I was already feeling a bit old and inflexible when it came to the Monster Hunter series at that time, so yeah, didn't get on board with the Chargeblade quite so much. Insect Glaive, despite being a fairly complex weapon type in some ways, it was much easier to pick up and play with limited understanding as compared to, say, the Chargeblade. So, and also it was easier to be effective with it because of the mounting mechanics. I think both weapons are good, but yeah, the mounting system of 4 Ultimate was pathetic in terms of how easy it was to mount monsters. You weren't forced to use the mounting mechanic, but you sort of felt foolish for not using it because of how effective it was. In regards to the Chargeblade in comparison with the Switch Axe, I would say that it is better than the Switch Axe. The reason why I'm making that comparison is because I often say that Switch Axe is a shitty weapon type, and quite frankly, the Chargeblade is what the Switch Axe should have been. I actually think that it should have replaced the Switch Axe. I don't see any need whatsoever for both weapons to exist simultaneously in this series. I think you should have either the Switch Axe or the Chargeblade. I do not think that the Chargeblade should ever be removed from a game in favour of Switch Axe. I'm just saying that it makes sense for Switch Axe to be in the game when Chargeblade is not in the games that came out before the Chargeblade existed. So basically, you're looking at Tri, Portable Third, and 3 Ultimate. Switch Axe instead of Charge Blade, and then for every game after that, it should just be Charge Blade without the Switch Axe being present. I don't know why they continued with Switch Axe. I think it's just a shitty weapon type. I think it's poorly thought out and a bit of a gimmick. You know, it's a weapon type that really I can live without. And that became all the more clear to me when I started to learn how to use the Charge Blade, because that is a really dynamic and exciting weapon. You know, that is a weapon that makes the morphing of the weapon from one weapon type to another actually feel more meaningful, whereas Switch Axe is just, yeah, it feels like a less thought out version of the Charge Blade, if you understand. So I don't see why both of them need to exist. It actually feels like a precursor to the Charge Blade. So, I don't know. Potato, I'm sure we've had this conversation before, but I think it's a bit daft to even pretend that Switch Axe is better than Charge Blade. I think when we had this conversation, I discovered that you just hadn't used much Charge Blade, and therefore you're a little bit like I was when Charge Blade first came out. It was more comfortable to use Switch Axe because it was familiar to you. But it seems like you've never actually taken the time to familiarize yourself with Charge Blade, and that is why you still prefer Switch Axe to Charge Blade. Once you actually learn how to use the damn weapon, you'll find that it's a lot more... It's better designed than the Switch Axe. The Switch Axe just feels, like I say, poorly thought out by comparison. It might not be that way in Monster Hunter World. Maybe by World they had given Switch Axe enough of a dynamic design to sensibly exist in conjunction with the Charge Blade. But, I don't know. I didn't really see much of that. I really don't like this hunt. Can I just be really fucking forthcoming with that information? This hunt has been miserable from start to finish because Yuli is no doubt hosting one of these monsters, and I think AJ's hosting the other. And the connectivity has been shit for both monsters during this hunt. So, yeah. It's particularly perturbing when you're trying to attack these monsters with some degree of accuracy using normal heavy bowgun. So... Oh, Jesus, I wasn't expecting you to turn that much on the spot. Thought you had to actually roll a little bit before making a turn like that, Mr. Uragaan. That is such a fun fact, Autonomic, that it has not been discussed in the last 4 or 5 recordings that I've done of 3 Ultimate. Funnest fact so far. But no, I do not agree that Steel Uragaan should be at the bottom of that list. That's ridiculous, and anyone who actually, anyone who unironically thinks that Steel Uragaan is the worst monster in the series needs to be beaten about the head. Persistently and without pause for several hours. So, just thought I'd get that out there. Do I like the monster all that much? Not really. But for him to be the worst monster in the series, genuinely, is... That's crackers. That's fucking crackerjack right there. This monster gave you nightmares when you were 10. Okay. That's a strange thing to appear in your nightmares. What, you were dreaming of being farted upon by this monster, or what? Does it still affect you to this day? Had a permanent impact on your formative years? if you visited a therapist, you would have to be essentially examined based on this monster's impact on your life. But that's not true. AJ, do you mean in this quest? That's not true. They were new in Portable Third, but not in 3 Ultimate. I can't even remember the first 2 monsters, to be honest, so I don't know about those, but definitely Roggy and Steel Uragaan were in Portable Third, so... I guess you could technically say they were still new monsters. Okay, so Purple Ludroth, yes, that was also in Portable Third, and Volvidon was also in Portable Third. Crystalbeard is interesting. I don't dislike him, but I don't particularly like him either. I'll do one more hunt in this room, and then I will go and investigate the other rooms, see what's happening. Which new monsters are 3 Ultimate only? Stygian, Zenoga, Savage Deviljho, Ivory Lagiacrus, which is fairly obvious, Lucent Nargacuga, Hallowed Genmoran, Rust Duramboros. What else? There will be more. Well, those are the only ones coming to mind at the moment. If I look through... How about I look at the monster list? That's probably a good idea. Which subspecies are unique to this game? Baleful is in Portable Third, but Sand Barioth is not, I'm pretty sure. So, was Sand Barioth in... No. Pretty fucking sure Sand Barioth was not in Portable Third, so that would be another example. That's it. That's all. So a pretty healthy number of monsters are indeed unique to this game. Maybe Sand Barioth was in Portable Third, I don't remember. I don't recall seeing the weapons being used. That's what I'm using to... That's why I don't believe that that monster's in that game, because I don't have any Sand Barioth weapons in that game, and I don't see anyone using the weapons. So, I don't think he was in that game. But maybe he was. I just don't remember anymore. I've played too many versions of this damn game. Or, too many versions of this game in the series. It's possible he was in Portable Third. Oh, there's also Abyssal Lagiacrus, obviously. I mentioned Ivory. Yuli actually suggested Abyssal Lagiacrus. I'm happy to do it, I don't mind. But yes, that would be another subspecies that is not in Portable Third. But again, not really necessary to mention that, because Lagiacrus is, in general, not in that game at all. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't have a specific memory of any of the weapons or armor being used in that. Oh, no, I do actually have... Yeah, I do have some mixed armor sets that use Sand Barioth, now that I think about it, in that game. Yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't have been thinking of the weapons. I should have thought about the armor sets that I had. I do have some Sand Barioth pieces. But, yeah, in terms of the weapons, I haven't made any in that game, and I have not seen anyone use those weapons. Not from my recollections, anyway. So, there you are. That's why I suspected that he wasn't in that game. I think Ivory Lagiacrus is a really good monster. Because it gives you an opportunity to appreciate the Lagiacrus more if you are not a fan of underwater combat. I would describe myself as a person who is not very enthused by underwater combat. I will post the Abyssal because no one else is. For the record, we are not doing the fucking event one. Just for the record. Looks like Yuli is also going Dragon Light Bowgun. Alright, let me organise things now. I will bring my flaming shots. Dragonfell berries. Probably still have large husks. No, I don't have large husks. That's important. That is a requirement. And also fire hopes. For an all-elemental loadout. Yeah. With two of us going Dragon Light Bowgun and also AJ using a Stygian weapon, this will be over and done with quite quickly, I think. Oh yes, I do need to purchase some more flaming shots. I'm fucking blind. I'm staring at flaming S and I'm going, where are they? I can't see them. Unbelievable. I did eat, so we should be fine. Should be good to go. Potato said that there's a giant pillar in the distance here in Port Tanzia, and he's asking if that is Lochlac. I don't know. I will have to check. I didn't notice it. Probably is, though. I have no idea how close Port Tanzia is to Lochlac, but it would be sensible to assume that it's close by. Given that it is indeed still 3rd gen. And reasonably accessible from Moga Village. Yeah, we're going to get a decent number of knockdowns here, thanks to the dragon shots. Again, critical distance doesn't really play as much of a factor in elemental shots, but I do want to make sure that I'm not losing any of my shots piercings. In other words, just want to make sure that I'm not so far away from the monster that the ammunition is disappearing before I can hit the monster. So yeah, I'm happy to shoot some distance away, but I need to be careful that it's not disappearing. Obviously with flaming shots, for example, they do disappear, and not very far away at all from the hunter. Very low range underwater. Dragon is a lot more appropriate for underwater combat. Go. I want to aim that a little bit higher, just into the elemental weak point. There you go. Again, the back is the elemental weak point, and believe me, if you are shooting dragon shots, you want to be hitting an elemental weak point. Good night, motherfucker. Yeah, this fight is insanely quick with a full team of Dragon Light Bowgun users. It's almost disgustingly fast. The same can be said of pretty much any Dragon Weak monster when you've got a full team of people using Dragon Shots. I'm carving him just in case I manage to get a dynamo. I don't actually remember if the body can give dynamos. I'm pretty sure it can. Obviously, you're going to have a much higher chance of getting one if you carve the tail. Yes, Brago, obviously there is a raw damage aspect to the elemental shots, but it is equivalent to about 1 damage. 1 shot damage. So, yeah, critical distance, as I said, is largely irrelevant. Is anyone else having issues with the stream? Okay. I was about to type it in the chat just in case, but... Alright. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, if one person is having issues with the stream, don't hesitate to mention it, because, you know, it might not just be... It might be for everyone, not just for you. So, there you go. Apparently AJ spent 90 minutes trying to kill one yesterday, and we just killed that one in like 3 minutes. It's a bit rough. Alright, I'm going to move on to another room. I will bid these fellows farewell. This fucking keyboard. Alright. So long, fellas. Good to hunt with you early again, of course. I'm pressing the wrong buttons to leave the damn area. Alright. How many people are playing still? 70. It is less than when I joined, but still a lot of people. Dire armor. Need rare stuff. Last hunt. Last hunt, not with the community, but with my friends. Help! Screams Brixo. HR5, help. HR7, G turns Fat Man. That's a good name. Help me, Nargacuga. Strategists needed. What strategy are you intending to employ in this hunt? I feel sorry for this guy, sitting in a room on his own, G-turns. So many rooms you could join, but... Anyway. Maybe I shouldn't have joined a room with one person in it. That's not really conducive to hunts taking place in a short time. But I don't want to be that guy who joins the room and immediately leaves, so... maybe I'll just hang around, I don't know. Do you know what? I might have to be that guy. I suddenly felt regret at joining a room with one person in it when I've got so many choices. You know, I'm happy to wait for people to come back from a quest if need be, but I don't know about waiting for people to join a room. Like, for example, I might join this one. Sort of feel sorry for that one guy, but I'm sure he'll get people. We've got Brian and Ryan, which is very cute. They all seem to be HR broken, which is good. And we'll have to hang around a little bit, but that's alright. I'm almost at HR 563. Yeah. What is my least favourite Monster Hunter game to play outside of World and Rise? I'll stick to the mainline series, I guess, because otherwise I would say Monster Hunter Online. Or Dynamic Hunting, Massive Hunting, Poka Poka Aero Village, no. Least favourite game to play that's not World or Rise. It's a hard one because I do enjoy pretty much all of the other ones. Because I enjoy all of the other ones, my answer has to be Monster Hunter Generations on the 3DS. Because that game was miserable for me to play at the time. I explained it earlier on in the live stream, but by the time that game came out, I had 3DS fatigue. I was so fucking done with that system. And yeah, I could only last about a week in that game. I mean, I played it a lot. I think because I could sense that I was reaching the end of my tether, I really gunned for endgame, basically. I would have been among the first people to reach HR break in that game, because I played it a lot at that time. But then, after I reached HR break, I just stopped playing completely. But yeah, it was at a point where I had HR broken, and people are like, how are you already HR, whatever. Whatever that would have been. Yeah, people were surprised. So, yeah, I did play it a lot at that time, but I couldn't do it anymore. I was done. It was at the point, like, I'm not talking about I'm playing it and then I played less. I'm saying I played it and then I stopped playing it literally until Double Cross was announced in the West as Generations Ultimate. Once that was mentioned, then I actually returned to that game and started working on that character in preparation for transferring the save onto Generations Ultimate. And that was a vindicating moment for me, and the reason why was because a lot of people had actually put time into their Double Cross characters, and I said, no, I'm going to hold out hope that it's going to come out in English. There was no real indication that it was going to come out in English, but I decided to hold out hope, and I was rewarded. I would consider it to be pretty painful to have put time into Double Cross, only to then be forced to make a new character in a different game. I'm just letting them know that I'm here. What? Wonderlord, with respect, Potato was clarifying something that you evidently didn't know. Because Wonderlord says, but doesn't this apply to Generations Ultimate? And then Potato said, he said 3DS fatigue, so I assumed he liked Generations Ultimate since it was on the Switch. Wonderlord proceeds to say, I know. What do you mean you know? But yeah, no. Nothing of what I said there applies to Generations Ultimate, because I was specifically talking about not wanting to play on the 3DS. Anyway, what was that? Double Duramborous, so I guess, no, not fire, because Rust is not weak to fire. I will bring something general use. What that ends up being, I don't know. Maybe poison. Do I have an awakened poison weapon? No, I do actually. I have the Lucent Nargacuga weapons, but the problem is they all have max sharpness, which feels like a bit of a waste. I'll bring Alkaid's Asterism. Oh, no, that one's not awaken. I know what I'll do. I will bring End of Night. The very dramatically named Gunlance. I was told to bring bombs and smoke bombs, so I guess this is in the arena. That sucks. That actually is awful. I didn't realize. Okay, smoke bomb time. There we go, bombs and smoke bombs. At the ready. Oh yeah, I need to put, oh Jesus. Actually, no, I don't want your guild card, sorry. Not at this stage. I haven't even hunted with you yet. You know, if I'm going to add a guild card, it's going to be because I enjoyed hunting with it. No, don't register the guild card. Jesus. Here I am, minding my own damn business, and I'm having to dodge guild cards being thrown at me. Jumping. Fucking G. Okay. Delete with Y. Had to actually check to see which button was Y. Okay. I'm buying 2 box potions, because I need them. Not right now, but I will. Generally, need them soon. I will eat. These guys have been very patient with me. I have taken quite some time to get ready. I can see at least one of them is antsy. Ryan. Not Brian, but Ryan. Yeah, could you imagine both of them spinning at the same time? Bloody hell. Alright, it is at the point where, presuming it is 2 of them in the arena, I didn't check, it's just there were there were mentions of smoke bombs. Assuming it is 2 of them in the arena at the same time, I think it's worth abandoning if we fail to smoke bomb them successfully, because I don't want to fight both of them at once. That sounds terrible. Brian is going to go for it. Let's see if he succeeds. I'm taking paintballs. Presumably he has succeeded. Presumably. He has. I will lend a hand with smoke bombs. I can see one of them's going out. Trying to get a full combo out without ending up on my hands and knees, courtesy of this Switch Axe Wonder Boy. Just as I was thinking, oh, I'm actually going to be able to get a full combo out based on the way the monster is moving, I then had to suffer the consequences of standing near a person with a Switch Axe. This guy, again, appears not to be aiming for the monster, but to be aiming for me, which is not great. That's good. I will get my Wyvern Fire. I'm sorry, fat man. I don't know what to tell you, but I was kind of there and charging it for a while, so you had some time to vacate the area. Oh, need to be careful. Oh, he looks... No, he's not. He's not in combat. Get over here. Jesus, he got me. Don't put fucking bombs down. How are people still doing this? I think we need to organize a seminar for hunters who think it's a good fucking idea to put bombs down when there's a trap and 3 other people swinging weapons around. It's a fucking stupid idea. Clearly, you're running the risk of hitting people away from the monster, and what do you think is better? 3 to 4 people hitting the monster all at once, uninterrupted, or 1 or 2 large barrel bombs? What do you think is going to deal more damage, huh? Like, if it's asleep, it's a rather different scenario, a rather different set of circumstances. The monster is still, but also everyone is standing away from the monster so as not to hit it. But in the trap, it is the opposite set of circumstances. Everyone is there hitting the monsters, so stop putting down bombs! Fucking hell. It's a fairly simple equation, logical equation, but I don't know. I think what frustrates me most about it is that that person will do it again in the future. Like, they will make that same mistake over and over and over again without actually considering whether or not that's a good idea. You shouldn't need to be told. I'm sure it's something I would have done back when I was first playing Monster Hunter Online, but, you know, that ship has sailed. Dodging switch axes and long swords at the moment. Would love to get a paralysis, but I'm not holding my breath. Can I get a full combo, please? Even if I did, I'd be shooting one shell, so probably wouldn't be very exciting. I'm not really keeping track of other people's use of smoke bombs, so I'm just going based on my own timing here. Oh. I'm not the only one using paralysis damage, apparently, so... There we go, last smoke bomb. The fact that I still had some probably mean, and presumably no one else did, probably means that they were placing theirs down way too quickly. But yeah, hopefully this thing dies soon. I don't have any more, and oh, there you go. Very good. It's good news. Yeah, that's probably because this is Awaken Hossein. So this weapon doesn't innately have paralysis. It does require Awaken in order to get it. But it's a very small amount. Poor bastard. I still only have one shot in the chamber, which is terrible. Better to go for a Wyvern Fire though. I thought that the monster died because it looked like the scene had changed, and so I was thinking, oh, we've got a death scene. How is that possible? Someone must be cheating. All of these thoughts flew into my mind in the space of about a nanosecond, and then I realized, oh wait, it's just the body of the other one. Not to sound ignorant, but I don't even know what MTX is. You're going to have to explain to me what MTX is. Because apparently Capcom fucked up Dragon's Dogma 2 because of too much MTX. Oh, what? MTX means microtransaction? There is no X in either the word micro or transaction, so how... Can I have an explanation for that shortening? People are funny. People will always figure out a way to not actually properly type something. You do not know why MTX means microtransactions, okay. I will just assume that it is a very well-established term. And, you know, well-established terms, even if they are not entirely logical, probably just need to be accepted, but I don't know. There's probably a precedent for that. There's probably other... Maybe the X is used for the word transaction in other instances. That's probably why. So yeah, I don't know. I think Dragon's Dogma 2 was already having issues on PC at any rate. I don't know if those have been fixed yet, but I heard that there were issues. Well, I did see a Gamers Nexus video pop up in my recommended, basically explaining that. And not to be pathetic, but I really would trust Gamers Nexus with with whatever they came out with. I trust their journalism, put it that way. So they're probably the most trustworthy source of information on gaming and gaming machines on the internet, so I presume that there are glaring issues on the PC version, but again, I don't know if that's been fixed at this stage. As I said, Dragon's Dogma 2, I'm not opposed to the idea of playing it, but I would rather play the first one before I do that. For those who are unaware, back when Dragon's Dogma was probably not brand new, this was in 2012, so I think Dragon's Dogma came out in 2011, from my recollection. Oh, Dark Arisen had come out by this time. That is when I got the first Dragon's Dogma. I actually got the, what's probably here. Here it is. It is backwards, but still got the fucking still got the price on it. That's amazing. I paid $39.95 Australian dollars in 2012 for this game, and yeah, I decided to get it because A, Shepard from Social Dissonance said it was good. One of the Dark Souls live streamers I watched at the time, named Jerp Does Games, he was the guy who single-handedly created the scenario where people were using Mask of the Child and backstabbing with rapiers. He was the guy who started that. Yeah, Jerp Does Games was playing this as well. So I thought I'd give it a try, and it was not an easy game to start playing. So yeah. I am obviously accustomed to games that are unforgiving when you come in brand new, but I remember not being in the mood for that shit at that specific time. You know, you have to be in the mood to play a game that's really unforgiving when you're a new person to the game. And I remember, you know, in 2012 I was very, very personally invested in Dark Souls. You know, I was playing that a lot, and that was a game where, you know, I was reaping the rewards for having gotten past the difficult stage of getting used to the game. So I was pretty much staring down the barrel of starting anew with something that required a lot of time to get used to it. And I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't want to do it, so there you go. Yes, there is a short messaging system in this game. Provided the person is in... I don't even think they need to be in the same lobby as you. I think they need to be in the same world as you. You can short message them by, for example, using the chat log. So if I go into the chat log, I can short message Brian. I can create a message, and that will end up in his short message inbox, like so. And you can also short message from your friends list. But yeah. Lord can choose, says Ryan. Okay. I will choose something that gives lots of stuff. What does Doomlink mean by stuff? He means HRP, which is a correct shortening of Hunter rank points. Whereas MTX, no fucking idea. Don't know why there's an X in there. We're not doing 3 Durambros, I can say that with some confidence. maybe 2 green Plesioth? Yeah. You have probably all noticed by now that when I choose quests, I almost exclusively choose from the advanced quest list. There's 2 reasons for that. The first is that those quests are numerous enough and interesting enough to remain entertaining, and at least for me. And second of all, they give lots of HRP, so... And that also rhymed. I'm feeling exceptionally articulate today. And poetic. As opposed to prosaic. I'm not feeling very prosaic today. I'm feeling notably poetic. No, it's not an event quest. Don't know why Brian is asking. Oh, you mean the... Remember that one. No, actually not the event quest. I don't want to fight 2 of them in the arena at the same time, quite frankly. I know it's tempting. Remember father and son outing? As tempting as it is, I just don't want to do another arena quest right now. I'm sorry. I hope I haven't just dangled something before you that you are now so desperate to see, but I just can't do it. I don't want to do another arena quest. It's such a bland and uninspiring place. That's that dirt pit. It's a fucking dirt pit. You know, I want locales. I want the beautiful deserted island to fill my eyes while I play. I don't have an Awakened Thunder anything, so I'm just going to bring that. Lost Babel. Obviously the best element is Thunder for these monsters, but I am not able to use an Awakened Thunder Lance. Awakened Thunder in this game, for one reason or another, is very difficult to get. I don't think there is a specific reason why. It's just an oversight on the part of Capcom. I think I was sounding like that for a little bit more than a second post-scene, but yeah. I have had stints in the past where I have consumed tea on camera. In bone china, teacups in fact. But it doesn't work visually, because the lighting that I use for my recordings ends up just turning my teacup into this blazing white object. But yeah, I do have a bit of a collection of fine bone china, both in regards to teapots and teacups. And I have a penchant for white tea specifically, because it doesn't stain my lovely crockery. Or at least stains it less. Also stains your teeth less. Take note, British tea drinkers who have a reputation internationally for having awful looking teeth. It's because they're fucking stained by tea. How about that? I've never actually seen a study on that, or I've never actually heard anyone posit that notion, or that theory, that their teeth are awful because they get stained by tea, but I think that's probably what it is, you know. Tea stains teeth. The British are known for having awful teeth. The British drink lots of tea. You know, it's a fairly obvious conclusion to draw. But they seem to have bad oral hygiene in general over there. I think the NHS is under a lot of pressure due to actual juvenile tooth decay. So, like, before the age of 7, there's a very large percentage of children in the UK who actually need to get dental appointments to deal with rotten teeth. So, yeah. Not great. If you could just stand still, well, not stand, but float still, just for a moment, that would be excellent. I was just standing there, well, no, I wasn't standing either. I was just floating there, waiting for you to come to a halt, and you didn't. You continued to just swim aimlessly in roughly the same general area for several seconds. And I didn't appreciate it. Listen to how loud my lance is. It's like the loudest thrusting of a lance that has ever been produced in the history of mankind. Yeah, before the age of 7, it's extraordinary. I don't know how you can get such rotten teeth at such a young age, but yeah, it's a pretty shocking statistic. I haven't given you any figures, but I can assure you it's it's worse than you might expect. I don't know if it's a percentage or if it's a number, but it's a lot. It's bad. Plesioth is such a colossal monster, if you think about it. Much physically larger than so many other monsters in the series. If you get a Gold Crown large Plesioth, and I suppose one example would be a father and son outing, the event quest that was referenced by, I think, Brian in the in-game chat. If you look at the size of that fucking monster, that's unbelievable. But I think that might be a particularly large green Plesioth. If you just get a standard Gold Crown large in the field, as it were, they are gigantic. Very big monster. He just stands so tall. Goodbye. You green piece of shit. I don't know, man, he's already dead. I can assure you that you would rather fight him on land than in the water. Actually, one of my first clips on Twitch, and I wish that I had, well, not clips, highlights. I wish I had been a little bit more proactive with my highlighting when I started using Twitch, because I would have a much better list of highlights than I do. But one of my first highlights that I actually bothered to make was for this quest, which I was two-manning with another guy, and it was miserable. It was a terrible hunt. It was like a 6-minute highlight of misery. And I think it was 2021, and it was shit. Could have been 2020, I don't recall clearly, but it was truly a sad experience. I'm hitting him in his weak point, actually. His top fin, or dorsal fin, I suppose is what you'd say. I don't know if that is a dorsal fin or a dorsal fan. Probably a dorsal fan. I'm not a biologist. I would not presume to give you the impression that I am a biologist. And I am not even remotely learned in that area of study. But it might be a dorsal fan. That's what I'm going to call it. Because I think a fin needs to be like one single thing. Like that may create a fin, but you can see that it's divided up into several almost spines with webbing. So I'd call that a fan rather than a fin. But anyway. As exciting as that is, I think it's case closed. As the Americans say, the jury is not out on this one. That pisses me. I hate that phrase. The jury's out. That pisses me off. I hate that phrase so much. The jury's out. I want to slap people who use that phrase. But it's the opposite. The jury's in. The jury's in. And I think it's just because it's so weak sounding and so... It's just a bad use of language. The jury's in. The jury's out. It's like, okay... In and out are very weak words. But anyway. They are fish fingers, apparently. Sorry, I think I might have to... I will abjure my previous classification. I do so reluctantly, but I think fish fingers might have to be the name from now on. No! Go away. You are not wanted here. Fucking Deviljho. You don't get enough of those invasions anymore. The good old Deviljho invasions. Go away. But yeah, look at the size of the Plesioth next to the Deviljho. Plesioth is actually possibly a little bigger. I mean, he has less meat on him, but I think he stands, if not taller, then certainly at the same height as the Deviljho. Ow. Pickle is looking for friends, yeah. I suppose that's why he has no particular locale of his own. He's just... He's not fussy. He's happy to make a friend wherever they may be. Embarking on a long journey. I don't have the stamina for this shit, and you can see that I don't. That's why I still got hit. I think I must have shielded something of Plesioth's, ended up in the red, and then I got hit through my shield, given that I was in red stamina. Slightly annoying. A good team effort on the part of the Plesioth and the Deviljho, though. I can't shield that. I'm in the red. Fortunately, my water blight has worn off, but I do not actually... Oh, I do. I'm being foolish. I have energy drink. This might be a bit of a waste. I think this monster is about to die. I hope so. I don't know why this one has taken so long. Alright, let's... We are running the risk of losing our opportunity to get him in the trap. Okay, he was not captured. Hey. Yeah, he is huge. I think that's the basis upon which Piscine Wyverns give you 4 calves. They are recognized to be a large monster, like a particularly large monster. But I think it's always been like that since 1st gen. Piscine Wyverns... Well, no, that's not true, actually, sorry. It's Plesioth and Lagiacrus that give you 4 calves. Cephadrome does not. But yeah, there has always been a recognition of how large Plesioth is, and that is in the form of him giving you 4 calves. Sorry, it's wrong to say Piscine Wyverns, generally. Because Cephadrome is a Piscine Wyvern and does not give you 4 calves. I'm pretty sure. It'd be a bit odd if he gave you 4 calves. That is not a very large monster. So there. Yes, and that is why you only get 2 from Kirin, which is awful, but true. I think I will move on from this room. Not because I have any issues with these people in the room, but because I want to, as I say, play with as many people as I can. Yeah, this is going to be a 3-hour-long recording, I can sense it. Which is fine. Works for me. Going to have to sell some things again. Okay. Ryan says, I hate Plesioth. Yeah, well. Like I say, he's better to hunt on land than he is underwater. I'll be back in a moment. I just need to visit the bathroom. Well, while you guys have been accusing me of engaging in excrement evacuation, very nice of you to do, there's been a really riveting conversation taking place. I need help. I need G ranks, not just one G rank, but several G ranks, to help me. Oh, he's referring to G ranked people. Okay. I was just expecting it to be someone who can't speak English. I need G ranks to help me HR Alatreon. My favourite part of the conversation is, I need Sky. Followed by, why? Again, very poetic. I need Sky. Why? Fuck me sideways. Obviously a hotbed for intellectual discussion. the three ultimate lobby. What a thing we are about to lose in the world. It's an inexplicable reply. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean why? What kind of question is that? I need Sky. Why? I need help with high rank Alatreon. Why? I'm playing 3 Ultimate. Why? Not everything has an answer, you know. These guys are doing event Brachydius. Should I do it? Should I do it? It's a bit late now. I've already joined the room and I'm asking, should I do it? To be fair, if I wanted to make that shitty weapon that you can make from it, this is one of my last opportunities, most likely. It's going to be very hard to get a group of 4 people on the emulated for... no, not this team, I don't think. Well, maybe they're okay. He's not okay. Well, no, maybe he is okay. That's actually a good loadout. Honed Blade plus Challenger plus 2, that's... This would be an example of a person who's just chosen not to HR break as some kind of joke. I guess these guys might be fine. Yeah, okay. I just saw red names and I thought, oh, this is not an optimized team, but one of them is... Well, they're probably all fine. Let's just assume that they're a good team. What would I bring? Let me consider that. Probably Water, Sword, and Shield. Just for the mobility, the shielding. Yeah, I'd probably go Sword and Shield. That's usually my choice when I'm dealing with those really strong event monsters. Feel like I need to read the chat. Does he actually need the sky, or does he want it for selfish personal gain? Says Autonomic. Hossein says, is he willing enough to get the sky? Will he sacrifice his time and effort to train? Says Hossein. And P-Berry says, do you need the sky, or do you want the sky? All very valid questions that I could ask of that person who just let us know that he needs sky. It could have been referring to he needs to go outside. Maybe he's trapped inside. Maybe he's being held captive, and that's his way of crying out for help. Needs sky. It's like, true. Needs some of those sunlight vitamins. Coco is now demanding that someone post a quest. I'm assuming we are here to do Event Brachydios. I don't know if everyone is prepared for this, but it is what I consider to be one of the hardest monsters in the series. Event Brachydios in 3 Ultimate. Stop sending me guild cards. I feel like I'm being assaulted. Unsolicited guild cards being thrust in my face while I'm trying to actually find a loadout that is comfortable enough for me to hunt this monster with. Probably this with Sword and Shield would be my guess. Water, Sword and Shield, which probably therefore means Arcan Dual Callion. Again, see that shield? That is the exact same symbol as what I have around my neck. What is that, Doomlink? It is a version of the Triskelion. So the Triskelion is like an ancient Celtic sun symbol, and both Sicily and the Isle of Man use that particular version. I have Manx heritage, personally, that's why I wear the Manx Triskelion. But Sicily also has that on their flag, so. They basically turned the Triskelion into 3 legs. So, yeah, it's been used in the Isle of Man, for example. Can't speak for Sicily, but it's been in use in the Isle of Man since, I don't know, 400 to 600 AD, I think. Or thereabouts. This fucking quest. But yeah, I don't know why that, I don't know why the Manx Triskelion actually appears on the Cedeus set. It's just it's a very specific symbol. It doesn't exist in abundance anywhere in the world. It's just Sicily and the Isle of Man, that's it. So. Oh, apparently there was news about a girl who had been abducted and she was saved by her Switch. So I guess the Switch actually went rogue and fucking attacked the guy. Is that what you're telling me? The Switch has a personality? There's a Japanese guy living inside the Switch. Must rescue my owner. Okay. I think, well, do you know what? For a quest like this, I do need to actually bring combination materials for potions. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true. It is necessary. Alright, so I will bring herbs, blue mushrooms, and honey. I have enough herbs for that, just barely. Blue mushrooms and honey. Never thought you'd see the day, huh? Well, I can assure you, it's necessary. If I had space to bring trap combinations, I'd do that too, but I'm just going to keep the one-shot trap that I have for a potential capture. Because I can assure you, we are going to be capturing this monster. That's pretty significant, Peaberry. Probably the worst criminal in recent years. Unless this guy kidnapped like 100 people, that's probably not an accurate statement. I don't know if you're keeping up to date with true crime, but it takes a lot to be referred to as the worst criminal in recent years. It takes a lot, especially in America, which is where I presume this. Oh, as in he... Oh, worst as in he is not good at committing crimes. Okay. Well, I don't know. Getting... Well, thanks for clarifying that, Hossein. I did assume it was used to help track her, but yeah, I can't think of a worse way to fail your... or foil your plans as a criminal than to be beaten up by a Nintendo Switch. That's pretty bad. There's no ninja inside the Nintendo Switch. Damn. I thought I had a personal protector in my service that I didn't know about. Because I got a Switch. I got one sitting right on my table just ahead of me. Oh, there's plenty of lawyers in that Switch, yeah. Based on how long it took for us to depart on this quest, I can assume that every one of us has taken some time to prepare, which is good. That is good news. For the record, this monster can, when enraged, probably deal 70% of my health in one hit. So... And it's a Brachydios. So. He swings his fists and does lots of things that involve him attacking you. So it's not the easiest monster to not be hit by at all, but you know. And he does start off enraged. He doesn't, you know, work up to it by the looks of it. But yeah, we're in it for the long haul. I actually think this is going to be my final quest. Presuming we don't fail almost immediately, this is probably going to be the final hunt. Which is a fitting final hunt, to be honest. I just say that because this is probably going to take about 30 minutes, and that's probably as long as I'm willing to play for. Would have liked to have joined another room, but... as I say, this is an appropriate final hunt. I'm not sure about the weapon choice of the team, particularly HK, I don't know about that. I'm sure that's not a terrible greatsword, but it's not among the best, so quite frankly you should really just not bring anything except your best weapons to this fight. Or weapons that still deal good damage but keep you safe, that's what I'm using. But, yeah. Trying to hit the monster, not the Uroctor, if you wouldn't mind. Got another trap going down. I mean, I don't know why you're wasting these when you could actually be saving it for when he becomes exhausted, which we would all benefit from much more than rather pointless traps at the start of the fight. It sort of makes us feel better. It makes us feel like we're dealing more damage, but you do realise this is a long hunt. Like, this is really long, so I don't know about this. I may be wrong, he may not have as much health as the Stygian Zinogre, but he definitely hits just as hard. I haven't done this quest enough to remember very clearly, but I'm pretty sure it's equivalent to that fight. But yeah, the objective is just to not take a hit. If I play my cards right, you guys won't even have the opportunity to see how much damage he deals. How about that? Oh, you're about to see. You're about to fucking see! Ah! Fuck off. Everyone's just standing around over here. Which makes sense. That is the way to approach it. We don't want to fight him in that little corridor. That's bad news. So yeah, I'm happy to see that everyone on this team is approaching it with a strategic state of mind, and yeah, everyone is not just rushing in now, trying to beat the monster up. They are fighting with care. It's also good that the connection to the monster is favourable. I'm not glitching too much. Or I'm not seeing the monster glitch too much. Waiting for you to get out of the damn lava. Something that I do often use against Stygian Zinogre is a Poison Sword and Shield, because, you know, it's just a way for me to be continuously dealing damage, even if I am failing with my DPS. Now, I took that hit rather stupidly there, because I was actually anticipating him to jump over me. That is not how that happened. Not at all. Obviously there's a little bit of a temptation to let my red health recover, but I can't run the risk of getting hit again while I'm waiting for that, so... yeah. Like, I consider myself a greatsword main, right? Or at least... well, no, I shouldn't say that. I consider myself a person who favours the greatsword above most other weapon types in Monster Hunter, and I wouldn't use a greatsword in this fight. Okay, so I don't know if HK is making a good decision in using that. Not just that weapon type, but that specific weapon. I don't think it's appropriate, but... I don't know. Maybe he's dealing decent damage. But he's probably not, okay? I'm seeing a lot of draw attacks at the moment. So... I'd say he's not dealing good damage. That's my 2 cents. That's alright. We will do our best regardless. I couldn't see what he was doing. Oh, not good. It's probably good to aim for the legs so that you can eventually get a knockdown, and then maybe aim for the face a bit. See, now, that's all that it took for us to get an exhausted Brachydios, but sadly we've wasted our first pitfall trap when he's just in a normal state. Which is ridiculous, to be honest. But whatever. Be great to get a KO. Maybe we can manage it. No pressure though. Oh, sorry, I think I hit you there. That was awful of me to have done. Either that or he got hit by an Uroktor on his screen. Well, I'm pretty sure they're all dead, so... you know, the spawns are the same, it's just the positions are different, I'm pretty sure. Well, considering we've been in the same area for this long, there's no way the spawns are different on our screens, so I must have hit him there, which is pretty awful, all things considered. Look at that tiny little touch that I got from that tail, and look how much health I fucking lost. That's crazy. One of the people actually dealing good damage has fucking left. He didn't leave, he disconnected. Fuck! That's terrible. That is an awful scenario. Kojo is like, what's going on? Yeah, it's called disconnecting, mate. Have you ever seen it before? Would you like an explanation? Would you like a diagram of what happens when your internet is no longer, you know, going to your console? Jesus. I'm just really frustrated because I assume that the hammer guy is not dealing that much damage. And again, this greatsword guy, I don't have much confidence in the damage that he's dealing. At least the slime switch axe user is benefiting from the slime explosions. And he's gone now. So, well, it looks like HK does have punishing draw at least. I saw him do that, but not sure how much he's benefiting from that. It's still possible for us to get this done, but this is becoming a much harder fight now that there's only 3 of us, and again, I don't have much faith in their damage, so yeah. Oh, it's Coco, not Kojo. Sorry. I got it wrong. The more shock traps they use, the harder it's going to be to successfully capture him, because he's going to reach his maximum resistance level for shock traps, when I possibly could benefit considerably from having a little bit more time to get the trank bombs out, but that's alright. Ironically, of course, the shock trap went down when the monster was not even exhausted, so I don't know. It's as if we are deliberately avoiding trapping the monster when exhausted, which is a little counterintuitive. Ow. Fucking hell. Again, it just feels like such a waste to have to recover all of that, or to not recover all of that red health, but I can't put myself in that position, it's too risky. We've got another shock trap that will last approximately 3 seconds. That was actually possibly 4 to 5 seconds, that wasn't too bad. We'll see how we go. I'm going to hold out hope and assume that he doesn't have as much health as Stygian Zenogre. I hope that's true. Good KO. Yeah, you will notice that we haven't actually broken anything on him yet. That's because, obviously, the parts of a monster are a percentage of their total health. So the reason why we haven't actually broken anything yet is because he's got a lot of fucking health. So... hello, Simply Roam. Yeah, pretty much everyone has made it for this live stream today. Which is good. I suppose it is auspicious. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing the final 3 Ultimate recording too many more times, as in not doing it any more times. It is the final one. I did mean that. Just in case I couldn't get out of the way in time. Better to play it safe. My number of potions is okay. It's not amazing, but it's manageable. At the rate, my potion consumption rate is manageable, assuming the quest takes 35 minutes. That's what I would say! Again, what a stupid reflex. I have a shield. I should have used it. Stupid reflex. When I have health like that, my reflex should be to just use my shield, not to try to get away. There is another problem here. It's not just the fact that I'm dead, it's the fact that they now have to fight 2-man for a period of time. And there is also generally a loss of damage versus the amount of time that has transpired in the quest, because I'm not there to help. So when you do have people die, it does make the quest take longer. So, not great. Should have used my cool drink before getting in here. I don't know why we've dung-bombed the monster. Why? He doesn't have a pinning attack. Whatever. Maybe someone decided to be bad-mannered towards the monster, just threw his own feces at the monster in protest. Which is nice. I suppose that's one technique. It is what primates do, but I feel like the hunters are fairly well evolved. Probably don't need to be doing that. But I suppose if you need to go, may as well make use of the deposit that you have created. This is a terrible scenario. We are now 1 death away from failure, and we're not even 15 minutes in. The reason why this is really, really bad is because we now are in a scenario where there is potential for failure after another 15 minutes have passed. So it would be the ultimate waste of time. I'm not going to hold it against that other guy. I'm going to assume that he didn't intentionally disconnect. I'm going to assume it was network instability. But it doesn't happen very often in this game, so maybe he just didn't want to, or was unable to commit to the fight. Yeah, I'm really annoyed by this situation. If we were able to have a full group of 4 people, I'd be feeling a lot better right now, but I actually don't think we will succeed. We may do. A lot of times when we've had these difficult hunts, I am expecting to fail, but then we still manage to do it. But it's just not looking great. The circumstances are unfavourable at the moment. And as I said, there's a loss of damage being dealt because that guy has to make his way back to the fight. So it just makes this whole quest take longer. I can barely see what you're doing, mate. Rachel has visited the port. I hope you're ready to sit around for a while, Rachel. Fucking hell. I will combine for some mega potions. Take it to 6. Need a hand, says Rachel. Read the room info. We're on a quest. Jesus. Need a hand. Yeah, just join in progress. Quick, get your SOS flare. need a hand. Did you see that? Completely non-telegraphed 180-degree turn. That was a network issue, that one. Yes, but wait 10 minutes. I don't know. I don't even know if we'll get this done in 10 minutes. But I guess Coco is fixing for another hunt after this one. I'm fucking not. One will do it for me. I don't actually know if I can forge the weapon after this hunt, but my guess is that I do not have enough to forge it after this hunt. Unless I get like 3 tickets or something. It's a shit weapon, which I have no intention of using, but, you know, it's a weapon that, when you have it, it is an achievement to have it. So it may actually encourage you to use it, even if it's not particularly good. I think it's an awaken hammer. It's an awaken hammer of some kind. Whether it's elemental or status, I can't be sure at this time, but I just remember that it's not very good. It's not as bad, for example, as the Eisenfaust, and I do actually use that, so, well, not very often. But I do have moments where I use the Eisenfaust. That fucking tail. It feels like such a little attack, but it is so damaging with this monster. I don't know, I feel like I'm not in a great situation, but I'm looking at Coco's damage and it's just not good. And I'm sorry if I'm hitting you, it's not what I'm intending to do. Well, while we've got the exhaustion going, let's aim for the leg, shall we? That's what Coco should be doing. He should be going for the super pounds, not walking up to the monster and doing, like, the standard X unsheath attack. That's like nothing. It's no damage. There you go. And also spinning golf swings, that's actually even better than the super pounds. I have to heal here. I have to take this opportunity. Not good. Again, it hurts me to have to heal while I have an opportunity to attack him, but... Rachel left. I don't know, lady, you could have just fucking looked at the room info. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that you haven't played this game for a while. Yeah, I'm not going to engage you in that. In the lava. But yes, I'm keeping a shock trap on hand for the capture. I will have to sharpen, but I have to try to find the right moment to do it. Like, as I'm doing it now, I have to pray that he doesn't target me. Fortunately, he didn't. And he's leaving the area again. Just one lone barrel bomb. Do need to consume a cool drink. Can't see what you're doing. Only got one cool drink left, but it should be enough. I don't know what you're doing with these bombs, but I guess we're going to try to make use of them. Fuck. Are you close enough to get that explosion? This is so annoying. I'm not standing by these fucking bombs any longer. Oh, if he's already going into his rage mode, that's usually an indication that he's low on health. Because when you see a monster go from being unenraged to enraged in a short space of time, that is one indicator of the health being low, but I don't know, we'll see. I have reason to suspect that he's got a bit more left to go, and that's because we have probably hit the... Could have been worse, hey? Could have been worse. We could have been in a situation where another 10 minutes or 5 minutes had passed. I will just look at it from the perspective of... I could have wasted more time. I think we had another 5 minutes to go before he was capturable, personally, but... Anyway, I'm not going to have that be the last hunt. I don't want it to be. So, I'll leave this room and try to find another room. But I think we all died once there, so there you go. Honestly, if we had that fourth person, we probably would have succeeded. Let me actually phrase that correctly. We probably would have succeeded, but... yeah, I can't blame that guy for that. Final day. Yeah. Last hour! It's not the last hour. Well, we'll see, P-Berry. I'm not going to push for a particular monster for the last hunt. But this will probably be it. That's... as much as poetic and on point as that is, end of the roads, for the final hunt, I'm not fucking doing it. It's high rank. Sorry. I'm not doing it. As perfect as that would be, end of the roads, no. I'm not doing a high rank quest, sorry. It's not my final quest. Okay, this guy's HR2 refuses to hunt with more than one other guy. Okay. Lost media? What are you talking about? He's calling it lost media, meanwhile I'll be on the emulated version tomorrow. Lost. Lost forever. Fuck. What do you mean lost media? Countdown? Yeah, that was a good show. Yeah, it's not the end of my road. Well, technically it's not the end of my road. I'll be on the emulated version, as I said. Oh, fuck off. Someone's gonna wonder why I joined and left so quickly. Well, I saw the colour of that person's name. That's all I needed to see. G-turns, looking for experts, there you go. Like I said, there's so many rooms to choose from that automatically you're going to have people leaving and then you'll be able to join rooms. That is one of the benefits of having so many rooms to choose from. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Apparently you want to be able to experience these games towards the end of their lives, but your Nintendo 3DS is not working properly with network connections, so there you go. Goldbeard Cedeus, that's going to be our final hunt. What would be a fun weapon to use? I want to see what that stupid hammer is that I was about to forge, potentially. Majestic Scepter. Yeah, as you can see, unless I got 3 Crowns of Glory, which is unlikely, I wouldn't have been able to forge it. I mean, it's not terrible, it doesn't look terrible. It's got decent damage, just the sharpness isn't very good, and I don't remember what the Awaken is. So, yeah. I'm sure one day I'll make it, but it's definitely not happening anytime soon. Cedeus, I think it's Lightning and Dragon for the ideal elements. I used to use fire, but fire is not actually a weakness, or not a good weakness anyway. Possibly a tertiary weakness. How about Gunlance? Yeah, let's do that. Stygian Gunlance. Stygian Avaricia. Not a commonly used weapon, but it is very strong. Well, Koei, there is probably going to be support for 3 Ultimate via the Pretendo servers for people who want to continue playing on console, but there are options to emulate already. There have been for some time. You can either use the Wii U emulator, which at this stage doesn't have support for online play, or you could use an emulator for the 3DS version. Obviously that is not as accessible now as it once was, but you can still connect online with people, and it is an option. I have already transferred everything over, and I will be, once I finish this recording, transferring my save file over for the final time. And yeah, that's going to be it. Last hunt. Been playing this game for 11 years. This is my final hunt on the original servers. Not quite 11 years, but getting there. It's more than 10. Less than 11. Alright, Potato, you and your funeral procession. La, 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 la. Yeah, this is a monster that is only in 3 Ultimate, so that's appropriate. I hope this quest won't be over and done with too quickly. That's one of my, I suppose, criticisms of this monster. It is the fact that his online version is just not strong enough. Dies far too easily. I understand why. He's the urgent into G rank, so it's understandable that he is going to be made to be killable when the whole team is using high rank stuff. Apparently Let's Not is actually watching the live stream. He's atting you in the quest, which is interesting. Is he swimming over here, or is he not? It looked like he was immediately going into his swimming animation. Yeah, I suppose not. That's why I'm swimming over here, if you were wondering. No, he's not. Okay. You can stop now, to be honest. He's responding to my desire for this quest to not be over and done with too quickly by swimming around aimlessly, which is slightly annoying. I was wanting more for you to have more health or defense, not to waste our time swimming around. But I suppose that's a big ask. Yeah, I mean, I opened myself up to the community, and I basically said, look, it's their choice. Well, I didn't say that, but I suppose implicit in the fact that I was not choosing my final quest myself, I was making the statement that I will leave it to the community as to which monster I fight for my final one. And I think Goldbeard Cedeus is really suitable, really fitting, so... yeah, and I don't hunt Goldbeard very much these days anyway. He's really fucking dragging it out though, look at this. Come on, man. Well, at this rate, I would be able to fairly easily collect those underwater ballista shots. Why are you going all the way down there? You are so annoying today. This is like the least cooperative Goldbeard Cedeus I've had the displeasure of fighting. And you would be my last one, wouldn't you? I'll try to Wyvern fight. Should be able to get it out. No, that was within range. I don't know if you could see that there, but I did get a burning effect on the body there. It's one of the good things about the games that aren't portable third. As amazing as the Gunlance was in that game, and I say that from a perspective of experiencing third-gen Gunlance for the first time in that game, there were no burning effects on the monsters when you shot with your shells, which was awful. Absolutely awful. It made the shelling of the Gunlance feel unsatisfying. There's very little satisfaction you could get out of shelling in that game. Someone's going to say, oh, but what about the shelling with the Gunlance with auto guard? Yeah, well, that's all well and good, but still. Not having that burning effect, not only is it less satisfying, it's also sometimes unclear if you actually made contact with the monster. That burning effect is like it's the assurance that you have made contact. When you don't have any burning effect whatsoever, you tend to second guess yourself if you were not really close to the monster. There is an uncertainty there. And that uncertainty, quite frankly, just makes Gunlance less enjoyable in that game compared to other games, which is a shame. Ammo, please, says Cole. I don't know, man, it's fairly unnecessary. I think this monster's going to die soon, but apparently he's given ammo to people, so... It was only, I think, about 2 years ago, ironic as that sounds, that I realised how good Gunlance is underwater. I hate Gunlance in general, it's one of my least favourite weapon types. I explained before that my least favourite would be Switch Axe, followed by Gunlance, but it works really well underwater because you see, it's a low mobility weapon type. Your mobility is already fairly low underwater. But you see, the advance forward motion of the Gunlance works really well underwater. It gives you a sort of mobility that you don't get with other weapon types when you're hunting underwater, so it's actually really good. Gunlance feels comfortable and, in fact, mobile in the very limited mobility environment of underwater combat. So... yeah, I would encourage the use of Lance and Gunlance when hunting underwater in general. It's been a long time coming, but that is my final hunt in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U. I have fond memories of playing this game back when it first came out. I remember feeling actual wonderment at looking at a Monster Hunter game in full 1080p. Amazing. Just, it looked spectacular. And, you know, when I look back on all the time that I've played in this game, most of it was a lot of fun, and I still can safely say that of all the Monster Hunter games, despite its faults, which all Monster Hunter games do have, this particular one is my favourite. This is my favourite Monster Hunter game. Which means a lot when you consider that Monster Hunter is my favourite video game series. So I guess by extension you could say that that is the last time that I'm able to play my favourite video game on the original servers on its original console, here with other people. Genuinely, thank you everyone for joining me for this experience. Zor's roll says let's not. Let's not. Let's not roll. There are... Oh, that's a good number to end on. 69. 69 people playing. I'm glad that there are lots of people here experiencing the game in the last 12 hours of it being online. Yes, rest in peace. Sort of. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Your servers have shut down, but people will find ways to continue playing you online, and even offline. But, that's all there is for me to say, really. Lots of memories. And I will try to create new ones in the emulated version. As I said, it'll be harder to find people to play with, but I'll just reach out to people like AJ and other people who are emulating that game, and I'll try to do some live streams with them. I'm looking forward to actually showing you guys the emulated version on 3DS. It looks really good. When you've got custom UI to make it not look like a shitty cartoon, like the original one does, and when you take out the bloom, it actually looks really good. So I do look forward to showing that to you guys in the future. But that's it for the Wii U version for now. Not just for now, but probably indefinitely. From now on, that is all. Thank you 3 Ultimate for being a bloody good game, and I will see you all on the other side of the closure of the Wii U and 3DS servers. Thanks for joining, and bye bye for now.